Alright, so we're on the second side of the notes here. We're going to take a look at example number 7, and we're going to do this two ways. Okay, so the first way we're going to do this is substitution, which is what we did on the front. 4x plus y equals 6, 3x minus y equals 1. Now, the problem with this is that neither equation is being solved for x or for y. The variables are on the same side in both equations. So what we have to do here, and this is why substitution is probably not the best way to go with most of these, let's take equation 1 and we will solve, let's solve this for y. So we want to get it as y equals. So I'm going to go minus 4x, and what that does is that leaves you with the equation y equals 6 minus 4x. We can't combine that because they're not like terms. Okay, now the problem is that that's not a value for y, but it's an expression. We're going to take this, we're going to go to the second equation, which is 3x minus the y value equals 1. Now the y value is equal to 6 minus 4x. So to solve this, we first have to think of this as a minus 1, and we're going to distribute. Okay, now that's a negative 1, so I'm just going to circle that to keep the negative there. You get 3x minus 6, negative 1 times 6. Then it's negative 1 times negative 4x. And a negative times a negative is a positive, equals 1. Combine like terms. So now we have a 3x. We have plus 4x on the same side, so 7x minus 6 equals 1. We go plus 6, move the constant. So we get 7x equals 7, running out of space. Divide by 7 on both sides, x equals 1. X equals 1. Okay, then we're not done. We have to find the y value. So y equals 6 minus 4x. Well, let's take the 1 and substitute it for x. So we get y equals 6 minus 4 times 1. That's just minus 4. So we get 6 minus 4, and 6 minus 4 is 2. So x is 1, y is 2. And if you check this, okay, if we take the calculator here, and let's take the top equation, which was 4x plus y is equal to 6. We'll do 4 times 1 plus the y value 2. Does it give us 6? Yes, it does. Let's take the bottom equation, which was 3x, so 3 times 2, minus the y value, 3 times 1, minus the y value, which was 2. Does that give us 1? Yes, it does. There's the answer. Okay, so we know we're right. You can always check to see if you're right. That's the nice thing about this. So that's substitution. Now, the second method is called elimination. And when you eliminate something, you get rid of it. Okay, it's like you kill it. We are going to kill a variable. We're going to get rid of a variable. Now, before we do that, I just want to write down an example at the top here. If I said 2x equals 20, if I said solve that, you would divide by 2 and you get x equals 10. What about 3x equals 30? Divide by 3, x equals 10. The x value is the same in both of these. X is always equal to 10. So that's like a system. What if we added the equations? Because if the left side and the right side are equal, if you add them up, shouldn't it also be the same? Well, if we add the columns, we get 5x equals 20 plus 30 is 50. What's the answer to this? Divide by 5. 50 divided by 5 is still 10. So you still get the same answer. Here's the reason why we're doing this. If we go back to the system, 4x plus y equals 6, 3x minus y equals 1, notice that the y value, this is positive 1y, negative 1y. They're opposites. And on the side here, if you take 2 plus negative 2, what happens when you add opposites? What do you always get? Well, you get 0. If I add opposites here, I'm going to add the two equations. I put a plus sign, a big underline. I'm going to add the columns. 4x plus 3x is 7x. 1y plus negative 1y is 0. So the y is gone, it's eliminated, equals 6 plus 1 is 7. Now we solve this. If you have one variable and one equation, we can now solve this. So we divide by 7 on both sides. We get 1x equals 1. Now that's a lot simpler than all this stuff over here. Okay, if you can eliminate a variable, that's what you want to do. Now we're not done though, you do have to find y, but let's go back to the first equation. Here was 1 and 2. Take equation 1, which was 4x plus y equals 6, and what was the x value? Well, it's positive 1, and now you solve it. You get 4 plus y equals 6. Now this is a constant, so to move it you do the inverse. We go minus 4, and we get y equals 2. So you get the same answer, but you get it a different way. This is called elimination. Okay, now I'm going to stop the video for a second, then we'll do the examples at the bottom.